Okay. There's no editing, so we're live. Hello, everybody. Welcome to week 11. We are obviously at deer camp, and therefore the production value is through the floor. First time ever, I'm doing a repeat beer on purpose. So I enjoyed the bent paddle double shot double black so much last week. I got some for the fellas. JP, have you tried yours yet?
No.
Go ahead and take a sip, and I guess the rest of you can share your thoughts on it while he does so.
Has a kind of a chocolatey taste, you know?
Mm-hmm.
A little bit of a coffee-ish, coffee
sharp and
finish.
back to your throat, but then very smooth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm not a big dark beer fan, but this is very good.
Huh.
I wouldn't be able to drink a lot of it. It's kind of a dessert. Have one.
You mean a half a pint?
Yeah, that's a lot.
A pint and then some,
in a
yeah.
bottle.
Yeah, it's one pint, 9.4 fluid ounces. You figured this out while trying to do the math. It's a small bottle of wine, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And it's thick.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't coat your teeth.
It doesn't feel
good
sugary.
aftertaste.
Yeah.
But it's just-
the alcohol thins it out enough to.
Yeah,
Did you
you're very
figure out
aware
what
that
the
it's
ABV
heavy.
was on it?
Oh, yeah, it's 11.2? 11.2% alcohol by volume.
So I shouldn't have filled
Basically,
it
it's wine.
Yep.
Yeah. Because this is normally about beer and football, the Packers have... Who do they have tomorrow?
Colts.
Yes.
Colts, yes.
Yep.
And the Vikings have the Cowboys. How do you guys like the Packers' chances tomorrow?
I'm kind of nervous because the Colts are actually pretty good this year. Now that they got Phillip Rivers, so
I think it'll be close, but they'll squeak it out. As they.
I had more confidence in Wisconsin, and now hearing what the score of that was,
Yeah.
Surprisingly low scoring. I thought
Yeah.
it would go higher.
and I think the Vikings are really definitely on the upswing. As
Yeah.
long as Dalvin Cook can do something, I'm very worried about them more than anybody else.
Well, I mean, I think the Vikings, they have, like you said, very young defense. And I think they're getting their feet wet. They're figuring stuff out. Zimmer's very good at coaching defenses. It's his thing. They have shown a lot of flashes of, like, the potential that all these young rookies actually have. As for the Packers, I think that Colts' defense is way more formidable than their offense is. But with, I don't know, Devontae back, he's going to be limited.
And Lazard's back too, I guess.
Oh.
That's So you have both your wide receiver threats and multiple running backs that can do damage. So I mean, you should.
But
have
the
no
defense still
problem.
hasn't stopped anybody.
Yeah,
Very
Philip
true.
Rivers stops themselves a lot of the time.
That's like the Packers are interesting to me because like against the Colts, like do they try to run the ball a bunch?
The Colts or the Packers?
The Packers. Oh no, sorry, the Colts against the Packers because the Packers have
the
gotten
Packers' run defense is horrible.
freight trained.
Mhm.
But which Colts running back is it? They got Wilkins, they got Hines, they like who's the other guy I'm missing? Taylor.
But he hasn't. He's shown flashes, but he hasn't really been what they drafted him to be.
No. So it's kind of a strength versus strength game in my mind because the Colts have like I want to say like the third or fourth fewest big passing plays allowed, and that's all Devontae Adams and MVS do.
Yeah.
Is huge completion. So
You might rely on throwing to Aaron more.
yeah, Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
And
Different look.
I don't know how accurate Yahoo Fantasy's strength of schedule is, but I remember looking at Indianapolis in the first half of their season, like the first 8 games. They have their color coded. Green is easy, yellow's like middle of the road, and then red's hard. The entire first half of Indianapolis' season is all just green, and now they're into the second half and it's all red.
Yeah.
You got hard offenses they're going to be going up against. So is their defense even really that good, or have they just had cakewalks the first 8 weeks of the season?
Yeah. So who do the Vikings play?
Cowboys,
Okay.
which in theory should
Dalton
be
back?
They're
easy.
hurting.
Yeah,
Dalton back?
yeah, but
Yeah.
they're at home.
And you got the Fat Penguin
Yeah.
coaching. So,
Yeah, and Zimmer knows his tendencies, so maybe.
Yeah.
We'll see. I never
And
want
really,
to
our
say like,
home
oh yeah, we got
games,
this.
what home games were before.
Yeah.
Not in this
Yeah.
situation.
Dead flying cards.
And
It's week 11, so like
It's facts.
I mean, a lot of it depends on, I think, even if the stadium pumps in crowd noise or even anything else.
Yeah.
it's week 11, so we have rapidly crossed the midway point, and we are careening towards the end of the season. Quick takes on predictions end of the season for the Packers.
like
they're
how
gonna-
far they'll go,
Yeah.
or
What is the record? How far they get?
I think they'll make it second round.
I don't think they're going to get the number 1 seed where they're at right now. I can see them going into a little mini slide. They got to play the Vikings again.
Nope.
They got to play the
No.
They got to play the Bears twice.
Yep. Yeah.
Which no Foles, no Trubisky.
Yeah, but their defense is good,
Mm-hmm.
and their offense, or the Bears' defense is good, and the Packers' defense sucks. So it really doesn't take much of an offense. I think to play the Packers well, you just need a good defense, in my eyes.
The Bucks, yeah.
Yep.
And the Vikings. But so you say second round of the playoffs?
Yeah.
What's the record?
With playoff games.
10-6. I think they're
Yeah.
going to go on a little
Yeah, I
mini
think-
slide here.
I was thinking like 11-5 in the
Okay.
season.
What do you think for the Packers? You're an outside observer.
I think they're. Well, if they get Lazard back, I think that changes a lot
Okay.
because they've got Tanyan who can do things. They've got Devontae Adams, who's Devontae Adams. MVS is a deep threat
When he catches the ball.
when he catches the ball, which
Yeah, holds on to it.
see, he goes from like just bricking several off his hands to like just hauling in 3 bombs, and it's like, well,
Yeah, where were you last
good
week?
luck
Kenneth?
trying to decide when to start him in your fantasy team.
Aaron Jones catching out of the backfield.
Yeah.
I think they're, to me, it's like the
And-
Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Packers for the NFC, and I don't know because like the NFC is a really tough division, and like week to week, is it the Bucks, is it the Saints, is it, like the Falcons are even like,
I think the Saints are done now. I think Breeze is done for the year.
oh yeah, with the break ribs and collapse along.
Yeah.
And I want to keep talking about this,
Jason.
but I have to
Jason.
upload this from my phone. So
Okay. But even the Packers,
Mhm.
I think the biggest how they're gonna do is Taylor, the wide receiver running back guy. It seems
Oh,
like when
Malik
he's
Taylor?
in, and they can jet sweep him and do motion with him, they do very well. When he's been injured, their offense has not done well. Even if the ball doesn't go to him,
it's just an extra layer.
yes,
Extra threat.
yep.
Huh. I like that.
He's kind of a no one, but he's
Yeah. You find out years later that he was the linchpin.
Yeah.
I feel bad. Patriots. Maybe you don't want to talk about them. But do you think they're going to sneak into the... I mean, there's a 7th wild card spot now.
They certainly could.
Do you want them to though?
Well, okay, so like, my own personal yardstick at the beginning of the season, they signed Cam. Okay, fine. They were the hardest hit team by COVID opt-outs. I said if they make 500 or better, I think it's a win for the season. You definitely have a huge changeover culturally, locker room wise. Brady leaving, and like I said, big shoes to fill. Who's going to take leadership? Everyone there talks about how well Cam comes in and is likable, has a rapport and relationship with every player on the team. That's great. They still need to find themselves, I think, this year, and then next year they could be really, really good. But like I said, this year, I guess I would maybe put it at like a 9-7 year. And with Buffalo on fire and
The Dolphins
just going,
finding a
yeah.
personality.
I'm
It's,
surprised with.
I don't
New
think they
England.
win the division at all.
I thought it was more coaching, less players,
They
and
lost
now
a
with
lot of players.
Brady gone,
Mm-hmm.
that kind of throws it up. Well, was it Belichick or was it Brady?
I think you still see, like an individual player. So, like their linebacker, their most senior linebacker, I believe, is Winovich, who was drafted last year. And he's playing very well. He's being coached up very well. Most second-year linebackers aren't doing much. And I think it's well, but like I said, it's the hand you're dealt.
Yeah.
And Belichick has to work with what he's got. I
So
do
you-
like to see that Damian Harris is like finally maybe going to be something, because Michelle kind of fizzled. And
You look at a team like where their wide receivers to start the season were N'Keal Harry and Julian Edelman, both on the IR or ones that they've been.
Yeah.
for
N'Keal
2
Harry was
weeks.
back last week, but Edelman's still on the IR. I've always had high hopes for Jacoby Myers. But,
saying like that-
and Olszewski, but they're still young.
I'm saying that people trying to have the Belichick versus Brady thing. We look at Tom Brady. He's got Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown,
Uh-huh.
Gronk again.
Mhm.
Like the talent levels overall around the pieces are
Yeah.
significant.
Well, so you offensive side of the ball right now, you got N'Keal Harry and Julian Edelman out, and Sonny Michel, who was their starting running back last year. And then on the defensive side of the ball, you had names are blanking right now.
That's
but,
fine because I have to upload this from my phone.
Okay, I'm
Probably
sorry.
Don't need to go through the
I'm
whole.
sorry. But on the defensive side of the ball, they had, I know, at least two linchpins of the defense.
But you got 4G in your stand.
Two linchpins
Yells
of the
at me,
defense opted out for COVID reasons, and the person who's play calling for the defense last year, now that's been handed over to somebody else. I don't even remember who, but it's a huge change on both sides of the ball. They at the end of last season they thought they were losing Brady. Great, we can get over that. And now their whole world's been turned upside down, and they're still finding a way to win some game, upsetting Baltimore.
Playoffs, yes or no? Not to cut you off, but I really want to. It takes forever to upload from my phone.
I think if they do,
Wi-Fi.
they're going to be the last seed, and I would say maybe second round unless they just find a identity and run with it. That's amazing. In the next 2 or 3 weeks.
So hold on. Biggest surprise, up or down team?
Miami.
Yeah, I was leaning Miami.
It's got to be it. Yeah, and the AFC East.
Oh.
Buffalo and Miami
I
last
even
year.
think the
What were
Bills
their
being as
records?
good as they are.
That's Buffalo and Miami. And so the Jets are still the Jets. But other than that, the whole division has gone upside down. It'd be like if the Lions and the Bears were on top of the NFC North this year.
Or the biggest surprise down would be the
Either way.
Jets, and we expected the Jets to be bad, but I am still amazed every week that they're that
bad.
Like,
How can you do
But
that?
they almost
You're
made
trying to
one.
be bad.
yeah, well, Flacco looked like a... Anyway, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for
Thank you
sharing
for the
beer
beer.
with me. Skull, feel it there. Go Vikings.
No.
Let's see how we go against the Cowboys.
Go Pack Go.
And, go Pats and fuck the Bills.
Oh wait.
Oh,